Have you had the band versus DJ chat with your fiancé? You know, the one where one of you imagines a soulful jazz quartet playing your old school first dance song, while the other wants a DJ who can read the room, drop hip-hop transitions into your parents' favourite Motown classics, and keep the dance floor absolutely packed all night. What if the whole band versus DJ debate has been the wrong question all along, and the real secret to unforgettable wedding entertainment is choosing both? In this episode, you'll hear from New York-based founder of DLE Events, Daniel Linares, who has spent nearly 2 decades blurring the lines between DJ, live band, and full-blown emotional experience for couples who refuse to do standard wedding vibes. His team specialises in band and DJ hybrid entertainment for weddings and events, blending impact, improvisation, and innovation into every moment. We get into how to design your wedding around feeling, not formula, how to make big magic without the big budget, and why the energy you bring as a couple can be one of the biggest factors that determines how epic your night becomes. So if you're allergic to corny copy and paste weddings and want a celebration that looks, sounds, and feels like you, this conversation hands you the language and the ideas to build exactly that. Let's get stuck into it. Unbridely is a community of pro-wedding vendors who believe in freedom and integrity in weddings, giving you options, solutions, tips and tricks to create the experience and memories that you and your fiancé really want and deserve. Because we believe that weddings are a team sport. With how-tos, stories and interviews with recently married couples, we find out what went right and what they'd change if they could go back and do it all over again. I'm Camille, and welcome to the Unbridely podcast. Hey Daniel, so lovely to have you on here today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely. Hey Camille, I'm excited to be here.
So obviously we've had a little bit of back and forth, had a little bit of chat just now before we pressed record. I know a bit more about you, super excited about what you're going to be able to share with my listener. But if you could just please kick off, who are you? Where in the hell are you? And what do you do?
I'm far away from you, Camille, but because of technology, it feels like we're right in the same room. My name is Daniel Linares. I am the founder of DLE Event Group. We're based out of New York City, and we serve the entire Northeast of the U.S., some destination. And, over the years, we just continued to pour into couples that want out of the box. For us, we've kind of innovated in this category of not the band, not the DJ, this sort of hybrid combination of live musicians, singers, and DJs fully coexisting and fully driving together. So, for us, it's just, trying to be unique in the way we bring entertainment to the world. Just, clearly passionate about music. And we just love to speak with couples, to meet with couples that are really trying to be out of the box, whether they're bringing diversity together around genres of music or ethnic backgrounds, blending that together musically. I think one of the exciting things about being in New York, and I'm sure parts of Australia as well, is like the amount of different couples that are getting married with different backgrounds and trying to blend it all together, having unique visions on how they want music to work at their weddings.
Yes. You just triggered something in me as an past, I guess, alumni of university-educated jazz music. We were brought up to believe that DJs and musicians were natural enemies. And this idea of you bringing together live musos and a DJ in one sort of entertainment offering, if you like, just blows my little mind apart. I know I've got questions here that I wanted to ask you, but I've got to start with this. How did that begin and how does it work?
I love the question. It started with us meeting a saxophone player early on. And it's like, okay, I think there's a lot of DJ companies that are like, yeah, let's add one musician or maybe like add a second and kind of add this little sprinkle to it. But then I kind of just had this idea. I'm like, well, what if we just use our imagination and create something that is best of both worlds, not try to see what others are doing in our category, because there's very few. I think we're one of the very few that says that's all that we do is that area of specialty.
Wow.
And so it started with a few musicians with the DJ, and it's now like 8 or 10 people, full band with the DJ. And it's kind of just been on our terms. Like if we could wave a magic wand, it's what would a really special outcome look like for couples? And we're just blessed to year after year continuing to innovate, get better. And I've been in this world for over 15 years. Our hybrid specialty has been about 8 years, and just blessed to be imagining what it looks like. Because I think people sometimes they'll hire us to like love the concept, but then they see it at their wedding, because it's one of the hardest things to tangibly feel before it happens, right? Like music on a dance floor.
Can't imagine.
But they're just like, wow, I knew it was going to be cool, but exceeded expectations.
Yeah. I'm a very visual person, and all I can see is almost like a scientific, chemistry lab setup where you introduce a musician and, the musician doesn't eat the DJ, and you're like, okay, great, we'll bring in another one. And you just go gently, and you're building this thing. But that's just amazing. There must be like really sort of progressive, open-minded musicians as well. And really, are they jazz trained to be able to improvise like that?
Yeah, they actually tend to be mostly jazz trained. Some of them are like by ear, maybe not from the jazz background, but most are jazz trained. So very advanced with their knowledge around music. I am trained as a vocalist, sort of. Like my high school was Frank Sinatra's School of the Arts out of Queens, New York.
Shut up.
So like I have some music theory knowledge. We've done some great performances, places like Carnegie Hall. I was lucky to be in a...
you just dropped Carnegie Hall, Daniel. What?
I'm not one to want to really like brag or toot my own horn, but in high school, I was one of like maybe 24 students. It was called the Chamber Singers.
Right.
Like I was amongst a group of singers. I've always wanted to be a tenor, but I'm more of a baritone. And so I was fortunate to be out of the 24, we joined a professional choir and a professional orchestra.
Wow.
And we performed. I remember I was 16 years old. And at the time, you're just a kid. I'm like, okay, cool. We're doing Carnegie Hall. But I'm like, I've heard the phrase where, if you've played Carnegie Hall, you've made it, or, you've achieved greatness in the musical category. And it was quite surreal to do that at 16.
Yes. In university, when I studied music, we did ethnomusicology, and we studied Carnegie Hall. That's so cool, Daniel. Sorry, I had to stop you there.
It's okay. I never talk about that. So thanks for somehow reminding me of that happening.
That's got to be at the top of your LinkedIn or something, doesn't it?
Probably needs to be resurfaced.
I think so. It's kudos. So sorry, I completely interrupted you.
It's okay.
You've got a singing background, so you've got a bit of working like music theory knowledge.
Definitely. So, thinking about it's so funny how different school is musically than a lot of the music people are dancing to at weddings.
Yeah.
Like, opera, musical theater, choir, but a lot of weddings, disco, Motown, rock and roll, classic rock, and then newer stuff, of course, your EDM, your hip hop, your pop, your top 40 pop music. I've always loved the musicality of the world. I remember when I was younger, my dad and mom they were remodeling the basement, and I was like, "Hey, could you add a recording booth like in this corner next to the
just while you're there, mom and dad."
The heater that heated the whole house. Can you add a recording booth, Dad? He's like, okay, champ.
No.
That was my nickname, Champion. And then he added this little conduit pipe under the ground so we could run some headphone cable and some microphone cable from where the computer was.
Props, Dad.
And so my parents were just always allowing us, I'm the oldest of 3, to just spread our wings, be butterflies, and whatever you want to do, try it out. And studio became, let's set up gear at high school and, DJ my first gig back then. And that was kind of the start of bringing joy to people through
Yeah.
music, whether it's singing or through DJing, or now bringing in professional musicians, mixing it with the DJ. I'm
Yeah.
ultimately now DJ host, and I have a singing background, but of course, surrounding myself with people that are at the top of their game, whether they're a musician or singer or other DJs like on our roster.
Daniel, after like 15 odd years, like you're running this show, you're still performing?
I'm trying, one of the toughest things as an owner is like how to grow and not become busier and overwhelmed and et cetera. And so over the last 18, 24 months, the big goal is continue to do amazing things, but meet amazing collaborators that can be
Yeah.
on our roster so that I can start kind of stepping back. One of the lines I'm using to my internal team is like, how do we pull me out of all the marketing
Yeah.
and still have really great people on the team into the marketing?
Yeah.
And so I did less events this year than I did the year before personally, but us as a company, we've grown.
Yes.
And so that's the goal. I mean, I love meeting couples and I love planning the music and ultimately helping them achieve great things. I like that. There's no better feeling for me of that challenge.
Yeah.
But one of the things is like, all right, I'll continue to do great things, but I also want to work a little bit less and grow a company with other people around me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, admirable. So you've gotten to the end of this year and you're gone, we did good. We did good. I pulled back a bit, but we're growing.
I told my wife, I said, see, all the business communities or workshops or
Yeah.
groups that I've been in, it's been that like constant curiosity. Because like in the wedding world, there's this whole, I think, belief system of, well, if I start my own business, then I'm going to be doing this just like this until the end. It's like, this is
Yeah.
how it's going to be. For
Yeah.
me, it's like, I've always been a little bit more curious of like, how does an entrepreneur do it? And that's just always been my genuine curiosity. So maintain this Michelin quality entertainment group. The analogy I always use is like, well, the Michelin star restaurant, that chef is not always in the back, in the
Correct.
kitchen, guiding every decision, but they're empowering really great people to have such a high standard for quality of output. And that's been my approach to growth is have great people, train great people so that I don't need to be involved in every decision that we make.
Yeah. You're not sourcing every plate. Yeah.
That's
Understand
right.
completely. So good, Daniel. So after, 15 odd years, did you say?
Yeah, it's probably closer to 20 now. Probably closer to 20 because I'm
Who's
I'm
counting?
38. So like,
Sure.
was I doing weddings at 18? Not exactly, but that sort of the DJ bug kind of started there, and
Yeah.
my first event was in high school. So technically, I guess I've been dabbling in entertainment for more than that, but like taking it seriously in the wedding world's been that like 15 to 20 year range.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been around for a while, I guess is what I'm getting at. So, what I
Definitely.
want to know, like zooming out for a sec, big picture, can you share a bit for our listener what sort of changes you've seen, what big shifts you've seen in entertainment, in weddings in particular?
Definitely. So like a lot of the clients that seek us out are looking for untraditional. And I know that a lot of listeners are also seeking untraditional.
Very much.
That's literally the definition of unbridely, as you shared with me.
Correct. Correct.
And so I've always been the untraditional. Steve Jobs says the square, I think it was Steve Jobs, or maybe somebody in that Apple commercial that says the square peg in the round hole, where you're just a little bit not the norm or out of the box
Yeah.
or, the outlier, if you will. I've always had that sort of outlier approach. And I think why we've tried to continue to innovate in this category or with couples, it's like, how can we innovate for them, for their event, where they have this idea, where they're like, hey, we're looking to do something unique for this, special parent dance.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, what if we start acoustic with
Yeah.
it, like the acoustic version, and then we drop it into the EDM version and then just pack the whole dance floor? What if we tried
Yeah.
something like that? And so we're just always learning what a couple wants. We always ask them the question, and this is what I would say for your listeners. It's like, well, what's the magic wand? If you could wave a magic wand, like before you could think about what's real and what's possible, what's not, if you could just wave a magic wand, like,
Suspend belief. Yes.
yeah, suspend belief. Like, what does it look like for your music? What does it look like for your florals? What does it look like for photo, for video, your planning team, even your venue, depending on how far along you are in the decision-making process? What does it all look like?
Mm.
And then you could just start to zoom in and say, well, if I'm looking for out of the box for this, who can help me bring that to life? I think a lot of people find us because they're like, hey, we found all these others that just didn't resonate with us. It felt too predictable. It felt too
formulaic.
I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody, but like too
No, of course.
Corny is the term we use a lot. They're like, wow, there's just a lot of corny out there.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We want
Dated?
elegant. We want dated. Yes. Yes. So that's kind of how I'd kind of summarize what a lot of our couples are seeking.
Do you find, I guess, from when you started to now, do you think engaged couples are getting more bold, getting more encouraged to take leaps and to personalize more?
I think so. I think especially, I know we're, thank goodness, years past the pandemic. I think coming out of such hard, challenging times, that was even more evident. Like, let's go in, let's throw the party that, people are going to rave about for decades to come.
It was fuck it, life's too short.
That's right. That's right. And I think a lot of people, for us, is like, well, hey, we know entertainment is one of the top 2, maybe top 3 decisions we're going to make. I think couples that are entertainment's maybe 10 on their list is probably not our client. Yeah. But if music is up there, it's like people are like, they just want to blow their guests away. It's funny how weddings are not so much about the couple and what's going to blow the couple away. It's more what is going to blow the couple away because their guests are blown away is the lens that I think a lot of couples are thinking about.
That's really cool, Daniel. That's really cool. So when couples want their wedding to feel personal, not like everybody else's, where do you suggest they start when they're dreaming up their wedding entertainment?
Yeah, I mean, think about your priorities. I think that's the big one. What's the priority? You want flowers to be to cover every inch of the ceiling, and you're just looking for more of an event design masterpiece. Like, great, dream a little bit. Like we're doing a wedding on New Year's Eve where it's an intimate room, like 35 feet by 35 feet. And they're like painting the entire ceiling with flowers. Wow. Not painting, they're actually putting flowers everywhere. And so like, if that's important to you, amazing. Like, dream it up. It's probably gonna be a bit of an investment if you're looking to do something like that. Yeah, I was just like, and are you a billionaire? Excellent. Most of our clients are not doing that, but it's cool once in a while for us to do something like that. But I would say, just what are the priorities? Like, start with your priorities. That'd be my advice, because you may be surprised at what it may cost. So it's like, okay, well, you're looking for a group that is able to do XYZ with flowers or XYZ with entertainment or XYZ. I mean, even photography and videography, there's all these different like niche specialties.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what do you want it to be? Like, you want somebody that is going to make it into a film, just out of the box. Of the box. Be curious to see what's out there first. And I think the curiosity can lead you into opportunities that you didn't even know existed. Because a lot of people, when they find us, they're like, we didn't know this was an option. And just through digging and through searching on Reddit and reading reviews, sometimes you're going to find things that you didn't know was possible.
That sounds phenomenal. I would kill to be a fly on the wall at that New Year's Eve event that you're doing. That sounds amazing.
We're excited. A couple of reasons. So the person that did my wife and my wedding in 2022, the owner of the floral company, is a guest because he's friends with the couple.
Oh. And
so he's like, I got it covered. I actually think the couple is not even giving direction to him. Oh. He's just going to, like I said, paint everything with flowers.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be a pretty one of one, a pretty special. Who knows if he's even charging them because he's the owner of a floral company and he's friends with this couple. So Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be exciting.
And dear listener, if you're wondering what gets creatives excited, it's when you guys trust a creative and just go,
Mm,
whatever you think is good, like free
that's right.
reign. Isn't that
It's true.
wild?
It's true. It's funny, based on what you had just said, when couples give us a little bit of direction, but they say, we want your expertise to be a driving force, it usually results in the best dance floors, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
You know, when
Because you get to do what
when
you do
there's too
best.
much structure, sometimes there's limitation.
Because your whole, well, not entire skill set, but a large part of your skill set is being able to read the room, read the people,
That's
read the
right.
timing, know
That's
when
right.
to escalate.
That's right. It's very rarely a fully mapped out, here's how it's going to start, here's the
Yes.
next song. And it's very much, like you said, just reading the energy of what people are responding to.
Yeah. Did you know that most newlyweds spend up to 8 hours of their precious time working through changing their last name after they get married? This is where easy name change comes in. Their kits provide you with a sort of shopping list of businesses, companies, and government departments where you simply pick which ones you need to notify. They then send you detailed instructions on how to go about the name change process because every business is different. And this saves you hours of calling around, waiting on hold, sending emails, waiting for a response, and then remembering to follow up when you don't hear back from them. Easy name change kits also provide ready to send forms, letters, and emails, so you just attach your marriage certificate to them and you're done. Starting at $39, the value and time you get back is a no-brainer. For more help on changing your name after you get married, there is an excellent blog post on the Unbridely website, and I'll put a link in the show notes for you. Plus, Unbridely podcast listeners get a $6 discount on their name change kits by using the code Unbridely6. That's UNBRIDELY 6, the number 6, and this is valid until the end of 2025. Get your easy name change kit so you can move on to the fun parts of being grown-ups together, like holidays, getting a dog, building a house, herb gardens. So, I've read up a little bit about you before I had a chat, and I know that you fuse really high-end entertainment with like emotional storytelling, and I know that building a whole atmosphere rather than just a singular linear sort of service is what you're all about. Like, and you talked about it before, like you prefer to be entrepreneurial in your thinking. So once a couple is clear on their budget and they know they're not billionaires, they know that the emotional moments matter the most. How can couples with smaller budgets achieve maybe a similar level of impact, but
Mhm.
maybe without the cost?
Yeah. It's a beautiful question that I feel like could actually be answered a number of ways. I'm going
Mm.
to actually answer it from the musical direction. You know, it may sound cliche, but music really can draw specific types of feeling out of people in the room, right? And so I think just really well thought out song selections for your special moments can just be such big emotional impact decisions. Like
Yeah.
there's an event that comes to mind
Yeah.
that we did, that La Via Rose, do 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 do, right? So like that is this like timeless classic that in the right environment, the amount of power a song like that has for, I think it was their first dance in that
Oh,
example. Like that song is not an everyday. Like you don't hear that at every single event, at least for us in New York. Maybe in different parts of the world, maybe France because it's a French song, maybe it's more popular. But that song created this just very powerful, powerful moment. And that same analogy with just different moments, whether you're figuring out a song for you and like a parent of yours, if you're listening, or your dance together,
yeah.
or your introduction song, right? So like introduction is this whole concept of maybe some people think that, oh, well, all of them need to be this level 10 energy, this high energy, and sometimes
Yeah.
can be cliche with the
There's a
song
lot of that on
selection.
TikTok, right?
That's right. But could you be more the elegant intro, the very black tie intro, where it's not maybe something that some would consider cliche, but it's a cheek to cheek Frank Sinatra, 1998 remaster, big band, very black tie, very Sinatra-esque. Like
Yeah.
we did that at an event earlier this year where the couple wanted more of that black tie vibe. They didn't want level 10 fist pumping, which sometimes we do.
Yeah.
So I think there's so much power in being really curious about the different songs in the different moments and what you'd want people to feel in those moments. And I think if you could find a musical partner that you can talk to about this, you're like, hey, look, for introductions, like we want very untraditional. We want it to just be very elegant, very in this way. Or like we're looking to be out of the box with a parent dance. Like, what ideas do you have?
Yeah.
I think it's in those musical moments, even your cake cutting song.
Yeah.
What do you want people to feel? What do you as a couple want to feel
Yeah.
in those songs? So I could go on and on. I'm getting like, I think of like Pharrell Williams for some reason, how he like feels music through color and this, I forget
Really?
what they call it, where it's like, there's like a feeling that is generated based on song, melody, instrumentation. I feel like I have a little side order of what Pharrell has, where it's like there's so much power in what you can do with music, and just think about that in all the various moments that you're trying to figure out as a couple, and what you want those moments to draw, and those emotional feels. Like even when people are walking inside, what do you want them to feel when they walk inside?
This
What
is
is the
so
vibe
good,
there?
Daniel. I've got to tell you. So my day job, if you like, is as a marriage celebrant. And so I'm writing all these ceremonies. And the very first thing is like, what do you want to feel? And they're like, oh, we'd like to write our own vows and we're going to be exchanging ring. No. What do you want to feel? How do you want the thing to feel? How do you want your guests to feel? And then we work back from that. And so it's so cool to hear that.
So
Yeah.
good. I'm getting the chills. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
It's how
like
it
get clear on
works.
the vision. Like that's what it's all
Yeah.
about.
Because
Love
there's a
that.
million ways to get there, and that's half the fun. But don't tell me how to get there. Tell me what you want at the end. Yeah.
That's good. Really good.
So the couple's clear on the budget. They know what emotional moments matter. The next step is actually, probably choosing DJ or band or hybrid. Hello. But from like your history, your background, what you've seen and everything, what are some perhaps like underrated or overlooked elements sort of beyond the music that you think can really transform the energy?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, the amount of creatives that we partner with that we sometimes never even meet, but we show up in the room is just beautiful in such a unique way. Lighting design can be very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like, do you have control over, if your wedding is in the evening, which many are, there are some afternoon and kind of daytime weddings, but like, could you have some control over lighting? Can the candlelight type of vibe be something
Yeah.
that fits your room? So I think lighting, sometimes florals, even with entertainment, it's like, wow, look how beautiful it looks on the table or near the couple where they're seated. But sometimes florists will have these visuals that are propped in front of us as a group.
Yep.
That's kind of bringing it all together. There's almost this like branding to an event. I'm sure event
Yeah.
designers and planners, they think of it from a branding perspective. It's like, what's the mood? What's the vibe? How are we going to create cohesion between the candles and the lighting and the florals and then the music, right? That Frank Sinatra analogy I mentioned earlier about introductions.
Yes.
It's like, sure, that's the audible side of it, but what's all
Yes.
the emotional and visual components that really marry all that together?
Yeah. I love that idea, Daniel, okay, so you might have beautiful music, that's great. If a band is just perched on a horrible rickety stage in the middle of something beautiful. It doesn't have that cohesion, that beautiful word. So, yeah, if they're a part of it, and then you can smell the flowers, you taste the food, you hear the music, you can touch beautiful linens, like it's the whole thing, right?
I mean, I get the chills. I guess I like what I do, or I'm passionate as you're talking and listening. But that Maya Angelou quote, and I think there's a way to spin that into weddings. It's the people won't remember exactly what you said, but remember how you make them feel.
Yeah.
And I think people won't remember every single detail about the wedding, but they'll remember the feeling of the overall experience and the happy tears and the laughter and the fun and the joy, like all of that wrapped in. Like people will remember the feeling. And to your point, Camille, as somebody that's helping share their story and bring two lovely souls together as like this, really the start of this beautiful celebration day of a wedding, and how that kind of ties into the entire rest of the day.
That's so cool. Oh, so much fun. So you've shared like heaps of little practical, creative ideas that people can borrow for their weddings. If we bring all of this together, just everything that you've just said, everything over the past 15, 17 years, that'd be great if you could just consolidate that right now. Could you talk to like perhaps a couple who's engaged, who's maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed, hearing this and liking this though, if you could give them one piece of advice to make their wedding celebration unforgettable for them and their guests, what advice would you give?
A wedding day happens quickly. It's fast.
Yeah.
So I was married in 2022, and being in the seat of the groom, like, does not compare to having any industry experience, period. It's
Yeah.
like, it happens quickly. And so it's great to have people in your corner to help you out, right? So if you could have people, friends, family around you to help out in a planning capacity, great. If you have the budget to afford a day of planner or a week of planner or a month of planner, great. If you could afford a full-time planner that's working with you for 6, 12 months, fantastic. So it's really helpful to have people to support you with all the details, because it could just be overwhelming where you just have to juggle it all yourself. But you could still do it. You can still pull it off if you are detail oriented, and that's kind of, that fits the format of your event. What I'd say is, don't sweat the little things. Just the day's going to come, and you're going to be there, and there may be something that wasn't exactly panned out the way you had originally envisioned. Maybe the chair is a different chair than you were expecting.
Yeah.
Because you're renting, and it's not the venue's fault, but it was the rental company that had a different this. Don't allow the little things to ruin the big picture. And I think the more you could just acknowledge, like, okay, it's all good. I'm still here with my partner, and we're like celebrating our love, and we're surrounded by the people that we care about so dearly in life. I think zoom out to what really matters. You're going to dance, you're going to eat, you're going to drink, you're going to be merry. And like, that's what matters most. Whatever little detail you want to talk about, like, don't let it bug you or affect you more than, 60 seconds once you realize it happens, because, you just don't want that to be the sort of foundation of the feelings that you allow yourself to hold on to the day of. Like, let it go, drop it, and just remind yourself of the gratitude and why you're doing what you're doing in that day. I'd say that's the big one, is just don't sweat the small stuff.
It's something that I'm saying to my couples all the time, especially during the ceremony, when couples like perhaps are at their most nervous and vulnerable and everything, and, they're saying all these emotional things up the front. And it's not fake it till you make it. It's not quite that. But all of your guests that you invite, they look to the couple to know how to react. They're looking, they adore you. They're there because they love you to pieces. So they're looking to the couple going, are they comfortable? Are they happy? Are they okay? And so whatever you project as a couple, you guess, they're soaking up like a sponge and they reflect it back to you.
That's really good.
So, yeah, if you're stressed about the chairs, like you were just saying, Daniel, if you're stressed about the chairs and you're just really angry about it and you can't let it go, all of your guests will see that all over your face, for sure. They know you. They know you back to front. You can't hide it. And so they'll be like, oh, they're stressed about something. Oh, my God, something's not going right. Oh,
true.
my God, what's going on?
So true.
And it spreads like a cancer around your wedding.
So true.
But if you just go in there and go, this is going to be awesome. Love you guys. Love every single one of you. It bounces back and forth and it just elevates the whole bloody, night or celebration or whatever you're doing.
You hit it on the head.
It's not just, don't let because the time's so short, don't let it be affected by things that aren't going great. It's like you got a melting pot in there of people that will never be together again, that are just, I don't know. I think why we love it so much. Every event is building something new, but generally it's building something really joyful with these people who have never been in this specific group at this specific point in time together. And it's just, like trauma. You go through trauma together and you're bound. You go through something really emotional. In trauma's case, it's hard. In a wedding, you go through something completely unique with these people. You experience these emotions that are so heightened and you share that. You share that forever. So I love the way you put that. But also, I'm sure you'd agree. Sorry, Daniel, I've totally gone off the rails.
It's okay.
Would you agree, especially if you don't have the money to pay for a planner, for 6 months, 12 months, whatever, that if you really value a certain thing in your wedding, music, entertainment, flowers, I can tell you're a big fan of flowers, photography, videography, all this sort of stuff. In my mind, if you can't afford the planner, you invest in those people, right? Do you believe that too?
Invest in your guests? Is that what you mean?
No, in your vendors.
Oh, in your vendors.
Like if music's your 100%. Thing. Yeah?
We've had people that are maybe investing even a little bit more than they, let's say, originally budgeted for, where they're just like, look, these other things don't matter as much to us.
Yeah.
We just want to dance the night away, right? And then there's people that probably don't hire us where those other things are really important to them. And they're investing greatly in that and maybe not as much in the music. And so venues can help you a ton. Like at most venues, unless you're getting a very sort of bare space where you just get the space.
Dry hire?
Yeah, you call it a dry hire?
Yeah. It's cool. You got nothing but a room.
Right. So if you get a sort of dry hire or blank space, okay, they may not come with somebody that can sort of be a liaison with the venue and you, but I think you might be able to still get people, think about it, who in my friend or family group can actually be my who to help me do the how. There's this book called Who Not How that, I'm not going to go on an entrepreneurial riff.
I love that too.
Do you?
Who?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like instead of you as the couple thinking about how can I do all of this or how can I manage all of this, who can help me do many of the hows? And maybe it's 16 different who's for 16 different hows potentially.
Yeah.
Hey, cousin, can you just help me make sure that this happens? And that's your only thing you need to think about. And so don't overwhelm yourself with how to do everything yourself. If you are taking that under your area of responsibility, it's you'd be so blown away by how many people who are going to be in attendance would be so happy to help you in any capacity.
We got a little saying at Unbridely that weddings are a team sport. And I don't care whether you pay people or, whatever it is, but I love that.
And I want to add something if that's okay to something you said earlier, Camille. I almost never thought of it this way. And you brought it out so clearly. it's like you as the couple, like here's the other tip on impact. Sorry to be flip-flopping
No,
with the audience.
this is good.
If you show up thinking, how can we show up from an emotional perspective and from a feeling perspective in a way so that our guests can show up the same way,
Yeah.
is literally, you are the mirror of who your guests are going to show up as. And what really brought that clear to me, Camille, is like the example is on the dance floor. If a couple is not dancing, there's a good chance that many people are not dancing. There's still going to be people dancing if you have good music,
Can't stop some people.
That's right. But contrastly, if you are out there living it up and you're pulling people from tables and come on out and join us, you are going to get a very resonant, abundant dance floor. And that same analogy applies to all the other moments, including ceremony, including cocktail hour. If you want to work your cocktail and show up and say hi and
actually be part of it. Sure. Yeah.
Yes. So journal on, how do we want to feel the day of so that our guests are feeling just like that?
Yeah. So cool, Daniel. Any last minute, I don't know, thoughts, tips, advice, takeaways, Maya Angelou quotes?
90% of overwhelm is self-induced. And so for you to really think about, okay, it's kind of a big deal throwing a wedding. It's a lot of things to figure out. It's a lot of details. But to ground yourself and remind yourself, like, what the most important things, a lot of it we touched on today, is you and your partner are celebrating something special. And every couple has different priorities of what is important to them. And it's over in a snap. I mean, I think many people have heard that. It's over so fast. And so just show up with an abundant mindset of, we are going to enjoy ourselves regardless of what little curveballs may pop up. And you may be smooth sailing the whole night. There may be a couple little bumps that happen, but just like focus on the love, the celebration, the people. You're creating a memory, and just be abundant with your thinking. Just allow the beauty of the people around you to fill you up with love, and just receive it and enjoy that big day. Weddings are beautiful. They're such wonderful celebrations. And, if you're listening to this and a wedding's coming up, if it's next month or next year or further down the road, just know that you got this, and get clear on what you want it to look like, what's important to you, and get the right people around you, whether it's people that are friends and family that are supporting you.
So cool, man. So if people are inspired by who and not how, and they're really loving the sound of the hybrid model, where can people find you?
Yeah, so our company is DLE Event Group. We're based out of New York. We travel all over kind of the North America area. We've been to Europe a couple times, never been to Australia.
Hey.
But we'll go over to Google, search for companies, hybrid DJ band or band and DJ combination group. I think different companies call it different things. It's still a relatively newer concept, even though 7-8 years ago, we kind of started to say to the world that we're going to specialize in this and we're going to only do this. And so whether it's a hybrid, whether it's a DJ, whether it's a band, just, we'd love to support and be a part of the special days. So reach out to us at dleeventgroup.com.
Nice. And I'll, of course, put your links in the show notes of the podcast episode as well. So then, the listeners can go in there and see what this thing is about, because you've got, a couple of videos there, a few photos and stuff. And as a sort of past musician, it seriously does blow my mind that you perform events like this. I'd love to see a full event. That'd be just mad. But really appreciate your time, Daniel, and your advice and your positivity. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. I could tell that you're really good at what you do. You have this deep curiosity for people, for me. And I know we just met through commonalities in the industry, but If you're considering Camille, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think you should hire Camille.
Cheers, man.
Hello.
Appreciate that. That's super kind. I like that. I'll send the check in the mail. Yeah. Have a wonderful festive season and hope
You as
to
well.
perhaps cross paths in New York one day.
I would love that. And I would love to land in your part of the world as well, in Australia.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Daniel.
Bye-bye. My pleasure.
Bye. That about wraps it up for this episode of the Unbridled podcast. For the links and resources we mentioned, please head to the show notes. And if you love the show, please review and subscribe on the podcast platform you're on now so you don't miss out on a single episode. Thanks so much for listening. And remember, weddings are a team sport. Catch you soon.